The Galactic Council's emergency session had been called for the third time in as many cycles. Ambassador Zixthala's crystalline form pulsed with nervous energy as she addressed the assembly of 1,000 species. "The human female has ignored all our warnings," she announced, her voice resonating through the vast chamber. "Dr. Elena Vasquez refuses to abandon her mission to the Forbidden Sector." A collective shudder rippled through the assembly. The Forbidden Sector, where the last of the Void Dragons had been banished eons ago, after they had nearly consumed half the galaxy in their hunger for dark matter. "She claims it's her old friend," continued the Kethmori representative, his 6 eyes blinking in disbelief. "The readings from her ship indicate she's less than 12 parsecs from the creature's last known location." Elder Thyman of the Ancestral Archive floated forward, his ancient form crackling with electromagnetic concern. "The records are clear. No being has survived direct contact with a void dragon for 3 million years. They are entropy incarnate, living weapons that devour space-time itself. But this human—" Zixthala paused, consulting her datapad. "She insists this particular dragon is different. She calls it Whisper." The name sent another wave of unease through the council. They all knew the story. 30 years ago, human terraforming engineer Elena Vasquez had discovered a dying void dragon hatchling on the planet Kepler 442b. Against all galactic protocols, instead of reporting it for immediate termination, she had nursed it back to health in secret. For 5 years, she had raised the creature, feeding it controlled portions of dark energy, teaching it to speak through quantum entanglement, and somehow, impossibly, forming what she called a bond of friendship. When Galactic Security finally discovered her illegal activities, the young dragon had already grown to the size of a shuttle. Rather than face execution, it had fled to the Forbidden Sector, leaving behind a heartbroken human who spent the next 25 years fighting for its recognition as a sentient being rather than a cosmic plague. Now, at 57 years old, Dr. Vasquez had stolen an experimental quantum drive ship and was heading straight toward the most dangerous creature in known space. "We should intercept her," suggested General Krask, his mandibles clicking anxiously, "for the safety of the galaxy." "You don't understand humans very well," interjected Dr. Yilan, the sole human representative present. The small woman stood, with quiet confidence among the towering alien forms. "Elena won't be stopped by force. She raised that dragon from infancy. In her mind, she's not meeting a cosmic horror. She's reuniting with her child." The chamber erupted in alarmed chittering, humming, and electromagnetic bursts of disbelief. "Child?" Timon's voice crackled with static. "That creature has grown to over 3 kilometers in length. Its mere presence destabilizes local spacetime. It feeds on the quantum foam that holds reality together." Dr. Yilan smiled sadly. "To Elena, it's still the frightened baby she bottle-fed synthetic dark matter to. She used to read it human fairy tales through neural link. She taught it to count, to recognize music, to understand the concept of friendship." "Madness," whispered Ambassador Zixthala. Meanwhile, countless light years away, Elena's stolen ship, the Defiant Hope, dropped out of quantum drive at the edge of the Forbidden Sector. Space here looked wrong, twisted and dark, with stars that flickered like dying candles. Reality itself seemed thin, held together by cosmic tape. Elena's weathered hands moved steadily across the controls, ignoring the radiation warnings, the spatial distortion alerts, and the ship's AI pleading with her to turn back. Her gray hair was pulled back in the same practical ponytail she'd worn 3 decades ago, and her eyes held the same determined warmth that had once convinced a baby dragon to trust a human. "Whisper?" she broadcast on the quantum frequency she remembered. "It's me, little one. I'm here." The response came not as words, but as a presence that touched her mind, vast beyond comprehension, yet familiar as a childhood lullaby. Space around her ship began to ripple, and then it appeared. The dragon was magnificent and terrible. Its scales were made of compressed dark matter that bent light around its massive form. Where it moved, Spacetime followed like a wake behind a ship. Its eyes were twin galaxies swirling with the light of a billion stars, and when it spoke, reality itself vibrated. Elena. The word contained multitudes, joy, sorrow, longing, and a love so pure it made the quantum foam sing. This was no mindless destroyer. This was a being who remembered bedtime stories, who had once curled up small enough to sleep in a human woman's lap, who had learned the meaning of family from the strangest of teachers. I have missed you, Mother. Elena smiled through her, tears as her ship was gently cradled in fields of controlled gravity. Around them, space began to heal. The twisted reality straightened, the dying stars reignited, and the cosmic wounds that had festered for eons started to close. The galaxy's most feared monster was coming home, guided by the love of a human who had seen past fear to recognize a child in need. Back at the Galactic Council, alarms began sounding as sensors detected the impossible. The forbidden sector was stabilizing. The cosmic damage was reversing. Where destruction had reigned for millennia, a new kind of order was emerging. How? Whispered Thyman. Dr. Yalan's smile widened. Because that's what humans do. We don't see monsters. We see individuals. Elena didn't raise a weapon of mass destruction. She raised a being capable of love, of choice, of redemption. As the reading stabilized, showing not conquest but healing, the galaxy began to understand a fundamental truth about humanity. Sometimes the greatest strength isn't in fighting monsters, but in refusing to believe they exist at all. Elena had ignored their warnings, and in doing so had reminded them all that even in the vastness of space, love could still triumph over fear. The dragon named Whisper had come home, and the universe was better for it.